Just in closing, again, on behalf of IRF Secretariat and our partners, I wanted to thank Ambassador Rayhawk and his team, first of all. Everybody give Ambassador Rayhawk and his team a great round of applause. You know, the ambassador has such a great team. It says a lot about the ambassador himself. He attracts such good people, like Carolina, Pavel, and everybody who works with him and who has helped put this conference together. So I just wanted to acknowledge him and thank you, Ambassador, for the last 2 years of partnership. This is the third time that we've partnered on an event here at this venue. So I also want to thank the Institute for International Relations, Prague. Worked most closely with Yuri Mach, but the whole team, I wanted to thank them as well. If you could give them a round of applause. And thanks again to the President of the Czech Republic and to the Czech Foreign Ministry, for being our host. We've had a great time the last couple days here. And just in my closing remarks, which I'm going to keep short, I want to build just some key takeaways from what I heard today, especially Rabbi David Rosen and Ambassador McDonough. I mean, they talked about the need for interfaith collaboration, shared initiatives, but also the need for the interfaith collaboration to be seen on the streets and not just in the ivory towers. And that's one of the things we have to do as we leave Prague this time and go back at home and resume our work, is we have to figure out how to inform the world about the work that we're all doing. This interfaith work, we have to build interfaith collaboration, multi-faith collaboration. I talked yesterday about a joint planning process. So it builds exactly on what Rabbi Rosen was saying and Ambassador McDonough. Ambassador McDonough says we need the frameworks for engagement at the global, regional, and local levels for multi-faith engagement. So we're all children of God, which makes us all brothers and sisters. And we all need to pull together as a family. We had a family photo here today. We all need to pull together as a family in between all the events. And it's just my call and my invitation is just that we can all pull together and work together, plan together, make plans for multi-faith collaborative activities, again, building new structures and new frameworks for engagement. And those plans should then be matched with philanthropy, and have philanthropists bring in resources to fund the execution of multi-faith initiatives, shared initiatives, sharing. I heard that word a lot today to do. Shared initiatives at the global, regional, and local level. And basically that's our call as we leave here. And I want to say one other thing. Rabbi Rosen was talking about mutual respect. And without respect, there can be no true communication, even as we engage each other. As we engage each other of all faiths and beliefs, engaging each other, there has to be the mutual respect for true communication to occur. The same must occur with governments. You have to have respectful advocacy, with these governments. If you want to have true communication between the faith communities and governments, there has to be a respectful advocacy that sets up engagement. Again, going back to Ambassador McDonough and these frameworks for engagement. So with the respectful advocacy that sets up engagement with these governments and true communication and offering to work with the governments to improve their public policies, and their programs and solve social problems together. So that's just, the next step for us is that we are going to create a joint planning process that would then enable coordination of activities, like an operations framework. But when we invite you all to opt in and join us, and I'll be here, we'll continue to be here from IRF Secretariat, Love Your Neighbor Community, Sterling Foundation, Abu Dhabi Forum for Peace. You have all of our partners, the Way to Happiness Foundation. We're all going to be here working together, and we invite everybody to pull together as brothers and sisters. So thank you again. It was our honor to be a supporter of this conference. Thank you.
I would like also to thank Greg and his team. I would like to thank Carolina Francisci, Ivana Piroháčová, Anastázia Vařeková, Jiří Mach, velvyslanec Josef Richtár, Melanie Šlusarčuková, David Burrow, Miles Windsor, Greg Mitchell, as I said, Brett Sharps, Randall Paul, Jörg Basten, technicians, František Růžička, Wojtěch Šust, interns and students from the Diplomatic Academy there in the corner. Please, big applause, they did a fantastic job. And before you go, I have my personal request. I spoke here about the invisible net. I hope very much that we succeeded to make our bond relationship stronger than before. And I would like to ask you to keep it, and not only to keep it, but also to develop it in order to help many people who deserve it. We put together a statement, chair statement from this conference. I would like to ask my colleague David Burrowes that he will read start and end of the statement in order not to torture you with another half an hour listening to statements. But at the end of the statements, there are the people that we try to highlight their fate. And if you can help them somehow, please do it. We saw on the cases that we marked here, like Pastor Lorenzo, that if we combine our forces and efforts, that we can get the people out. Please, David Burrow, come here and read the chair statement from this conference. Thank you.
So the Prague Declaration on Freedom of Religion or Belief 2025, the chair of the Article 18 Alliance, Ambassador Robert Rehak, declared, "At a time of deepening polarization, global insecurity, and profound societal transformation, the participants of the Prague Conference on Freedom of Religion or Belief reaffirm that the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion or belief is a cornerstone of human dignity and a vital source of resilience and solidarity for individuals and societies alike. The conference underlined the urgent need to protect and promote FORB amidst today's global challenges, from technological disruption and the misuse of digital tools to the environmental crisis and widening social inequalities. Participants recognize that safeguarding this universal right contributes not only to individual liberty, but also to social cohesion, peace, and sustainable development. Participants expressed deep concern for individuals and communities who continue to suffer discrimination, imprisonment, and violence for their beliefs or religious identity. Special attention was given to the Russian aggression against Ukraine and Chinese persecution, including of Uyghurs and Tibetan Buddhists. Protecting their rights and dignity remain an essential test of the international community's commitment to human rights for all. As the Dalai Lama, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, celebrates his 90th birthday, we reiterate that the right to freedom of religion or belief includes the freedom to choose religious leaders free from state interference. This includes the right of the Tibetan Buddhist community to identify a successor. We then repeat all the themes of the 7 sessions that we've heard today. The discussions further emphasized the crucial role of religious communities in addressing pressing global issues and countering hate and discrimination in all forms. Participants reaffirm their commitment to advancing the principles of the Article 18 Alliance as it celebrates its 5th anniversary, hearing directly from individuals like Mubarak Bala and Pastor Lorenzo, who were released in 2025 and 4 as prisoners of conscience, following advocacy by the Alliance and others. The Alliance looks forward to increasing and strengthening cooperation among governments, civil society, faith-based organizations, and international institutions to ensure that freedom of religion or belief is protected and promoted for all, everywhere. So in unity and shared purpose, the Prague Conference calls on the international community to uphold FORB as a foundation for peace, justice, and human flourishing. The conference was dedicated to the release of religious prisoners of conscience, including the following: Ikun Badap, Junaid Hafiz, Zainab Jalalian, and Mariam Akabi Mofarad, Marvash Sabat, Gulshan Abbas, Wang Yi, and Ilham Tothi, Hussein Mohammed Al-Tanawi, Omar Mahmoud Abdel Magrid, and Hazaim Saeed Abdel Mutamid, and Yahya Sharif Amanu.
To have the cherry on the cake, I would like to invite Director of Institute of International Relations, Mats Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, and thank you all for coming here to Prague to participate in this conference. Speaking at the very end of the conference, I would like to just take this opportunity to stress why I think, from behalf of the Institute of International Relations, it is important for us to cooperate with the IRF Secretariat, with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Czechia on this particular topic of this very conference. I think you all know that we live in a turbulent time of changes, right? We live in an era of increased uncertainties for many people. These uncertainties might look very different in different parts of the world, but I think we're all aware of that the number of democracies in the world are decreasing. We see that human rights are being challenged more and more globally. And so also the freedom of religion or belief. I think in such times as we have today, it's not strange that many people look towards history for guidance. Myself, I'm a trained political scientist, so of course, if we want to find some clues for the future, we often look to the history, because we might have at least some small understanding of what happened in the past, at least much more as we have understanding of what will happen in the future. But I think there is also a tendency today, here in Europe, in other places in the world, to look to the past and kind of long to the past as well. I don't know if you are familiar with a novel by the Bulgarian author Georgiu Gospodinov, which is called Time Shelter. In this novel, some European states decide to have referendum about to what decade in the past they would like to return. And unsurprisingly, in the fictive world of that novel, Time Shelter, the population of Czechia decides to go back to the 1990s, the era of Václav Havel, and of course the idea of the end of history, a time period where many people thought that we have a victorious political system of liberal democracy, and we just watch how basic rights and freedoms would continue growing across the world and provide a safer space. Now, that is a fictive novel, of course, and we cannot return to time, not even in the novel. It's an illusion that is created about living in a time of the past. And getting back to what I wanted to say here, my message, why I think it's important to be involved in these kind of discussions is that I think we should not try to get back to somewhere what we had in the past, but we need to create a better future, right? And I think this exchange of opinions, stressing mutual respect of different groups, stressing inclusiveness, is something that is extremely important, and I'm very happy that we can be a part of this venture. So thank you very much, Mr. Rehak, for organizing this, and thank you I don't want to express a name of the people, you already did so. So thanks to everyone involved, and thank you all for coming here.
We are all people connected to religion, and in this time I would like to say, go in peace, but I will say through our very honored guest, Kundalini Rinpoche, and instead of my any final words, take this meditation with you to your homes, and I wish you safe travel and continue in the topics that we started. Thank you very much.